We're back, ready to start the new year with the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. The temperature today expected to get into single digits with the wind chill below zero, 4 to 7 inches of snow, and wind gusts that could reach up to 40 miles an hour. Buffalo has won the toss. They'll receive. This is the 66th meeting between these two teams. Buffalo leads the overall series 34-30-1, but the Colts have won the last 6, and we are underway. Fred Jackson takes it at the 10 and brings it out close to the 25-yard line.
Bill, any way you slice it, this Buffalo Bills offense has been anemic this year, and Ryan Fitzmagic knows this is the last chance to make a statement for to plead his case for next year. Not ideal. We'll see how he handles these elements.
Just underway here in Orchard Park from the 25-yard line. Toss back to Jackson. Tough footing out there, and kind of picks his way for a 3-yard gain. So 2nd and 8 after a pickup of 2. Jackson again, the lone setback. Stupar, the motion man, the tight end. Toss again back to Jackson. And 3rd and 4. Opening possession for the Buffalo Bills. Fitzpatrick from the shotgun. Lofts it out there, and that's going nowhere. Roscoe Parrish made the catch, and Tim Jennings closed quickly. So it's 3 and out for the Buffalo Bills.
I don't think Roscoe Parrish appreciated this ball being floated by Ryan Fitzpatrick. He had to go up and over the hands right there, and Jennings was not fooled one bit. He saw that play coming the whole way. Roscoe Parrish never had a chance. Just another example of frustration by this Buffalo Bills offense.
Brian Moorman will have to punt into the wind, 2nd in the AFC with almost a 47-yard average. TJ Rushing is back deep for the Colts. And this is a short pump. Takes a bounce and fielded. Rushing. And he's brought down immediately at the 30-yard line. And he came in needing 1 completion to Reggie Wayne in order to move them into 2nd place as the NFL's 2nd all-time leading passing duo. And they get it out to Reggie Wayne, and there's the pass that moves them into 2nd place. So 2nd and 7, opening possession for the Colts here in Buffalo. Incomplete. 3rd and 7 for the Indianapolis Colts. Manning. And that was picked off. Kerry Harris, the rookie out of USC, 6th-round pick with the interception of Peyton Manning.
Well, it's tough sledding out there if you're a quarterback throwing this football, and especially when your receivers running down the middle of the field are falling down on you. That was Jacob Tamme, the tight end, who slipped, and that allowed Kerry Harris to step in and really just fall into this football. You can see there's no one anywhere near it for the Colts because of Tamme slipping. The field is very, very cold out there. That's one of the most difficult decisions a player has to make on a day like today. What kind of shoes to wear, because you just don't know how that surface is going to hold up.
Harris activated as a backup safety today, and the Buffalo Bills now with 27 interceptions on the season. And they take over from the 42-yard line. Short drop, and that is caught. Stupar, the tight end, and he is out of bounds inside the 40, down close to the 37-yard line.
Well, Bill, on that Peyton Manning interception, he did tell us when we talked to him yesterday he wanted to try and come out. He didn't know whether he was going to be playing 1 or 2 series. Whether Jim Caldwell wants to take him out after that interception, I don't know. But we did see a concerted effort by Peyton Manning to try and get the ball to Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark, just as he told us he was going to try to do yesterday.
2nd and 6. High formation. Jackson behind Corey McIntyre. Follows him in. Tries to get to the perimeter and can't quite turn the corner. Jacob Lacey, the right cornerback, made the stop, starting today for Gerard Powers.
That run right there, Bill, is one of the runs that the type of run that makes Fred Jackson a special running back. That play, all the flow was going to the left side, and he's got the ability to see it and sense when that pursuit from the backside is a little too aggressive, and he bounced it all the way back around the right side. Fred Jackson today needs 150 yards total on the day to break 1,000 yards, and his offensive lineman, it's a very big priority that they try and get him there today.
Trying to take advantage of the interception, 3rd and 3. Bills were never able to get into a rhythm on offense last week. They were limited to a season-low 40 yards rushing against the Falcons.
The question is, have they been in rhythm all year? That's a
good point. 3rd and 3, Jackson. He's got a first down. Still on his feet, Fred Jackson. All the way down to the 15-yard line. Gary Brackett, the middle linebacker, finally pushed him out of bounds after a gain of 19 yards.
Well, the key block on this play, Bill, was by number 88. You see coming in motion, Jonathan Stupar right there, just cracking back on the defensive end. Had no idea, didn't see it coming. That got Fred Jackson to the edge. And then the rest, you know, we talk about how hard it is to run on this field in these kind of conditions. Very hard to tackle as well. It just seems as though everything on the football field does not operate as it normally would under these conditions. You got to wrap up on a running back with a football.
Came in 10th in the AFC in rushing with 850 yards. He'll get it again. Very patient, trying to let something develop, and down close to the 11-yard line.
And another thing that's going to work in Fred Jackson and this Buffalo Bills running game's favor, Bill, as you stated in the opening lineups, a lot of the key players for the Indianapolis Colts are being rested today. Dwight Freeney not even in uniform, but a lot of these players will be used sparingly, if at all. And so that should give Fred Jackson a good opportunity today.
2nd and 6. Short drop. Fitzpatrick tried to hit the slant, and T.O. got popped at the goal line and is slow getting up.
Well, that really, in my opinion, was just a bad decision by Ryan Fitzpatrick to throw this ball in there. It was late. Number one, you could see that there were 4 Indianapolis Colts underneath. This is nothing. There's nothing T.O. can do about this. The ball was thrown behind him, and you saw safety Antoine Bethea reading that perfectly. Ryan Fitzpatrick turned and looked right all the way. Bethea knew where that ball was going. Poor decision by Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So the Bills are going to take a timeout. Colts came in ranked 16th on defense in the NFL, 21st against the run, 18th against the pass. But they have been very efficient after turnovers.
That's almost perfect. You can see 1 time out of 22. Hard to beat that.
3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers to the right. Fitzpatrick, plenty of time to the end zone. Jackson, touchdown, Buffalo. Fred Jackson.
Very, very good execution by the Buffalo Bills, who've been the worst team in the NFL in red zone offense. Only 32.4% of the time coming away with touchdowns. But right there, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fred Jackson, they got the coverage they wanted. Super execution and a nice touchdown.
Ryan Lindell on to try the extra point with 9:25 left to go in the first. And the Buffalo Bills have the early lead. We're back in Orchard Park, and the wind chill factor as Peyton Manning gets ready to come back on the field. We believe the wind chill is down below 0, and the forecast is for up to 7 inches of snow today, and winds gusting up to 40 miles an hour.
Bill, you know, as a retired football player myself,
happily at this point,
there are days where you really feel like you could still go out there and do it. You want to go out there and do it. Today is not one of those days. Trust me. No desire whatsoever to be out there.
Sam Jaguar, who was signed this week with Chad Simpson out, set to return. Fitting, we're so close to the Canadian border because he's from Quebec. Played football there at Sherbrooke College. Short kick. And Jaguar is brought down hard at about the 26-yard line. Let's take a look back, Steve, at the scoring play.
Well, I want you to look at this setup. It's perfect. Right here is Fred Jackson. Right here is Gary Brackett, the linebacker. What you're going to see is Fred Jackson dipping in and then going right down the middle of the field. Watch what it does to Gary Brackett. He sets his feet, boom. That's all it took for Fred Jackson to slip by and get in the end zone.
Colts will go from the shotgun on first down. Screen to Dallas Clark with some running room. And out across the 40 to the 43. A pickup of 15 yards. And with that completion to Reggie Wayne, here's how things stand. They move ahead of the former Bills, Jim Kelly and Andre Reed. So Peyton 1 and 2 in that category. There's another one out to Reggie Wayne. Fourth in the NFL in receptions with 95 coming in, so they'd like to get him to 100.
This is exactly what we expected. We're going to look at our former Buffalo Bills quarterback Jim Kelly in attendance right there. He's a man that's used to these conditions, no doubt about it. But we were told very clearly by Peyton, while he's in there, he's going to be trying to pump that ball to Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark. He's doing it again on this drive.
Second and 6. Shovel pass to Dallas Clark. Good job by the Bills defensively right at midfield. John Cordo, starting today at the will linebacker, made the stop. He's there because Nick Harris, who had a good week last week in Atlanta but was injured, was placed on IR. Cordo in his second year out of Sacred Heart. Colts up quickly, 3rd and 3. Right at midfield. Peyton. Caught by Reggie Wayne. Reggie named to his 4th Pro Bowl this week. Peyton selected to his 10th. That ties him with the legendary Johnny Unitas for the most in Colts history.
Great job by Reggie Wayne. And that is his 3rd catch today. That gets him to 98 on the season. Peyton Manning just converting 3rd downs like he usually does. Best in the NFL again this year of moving the chains.
Changing it up. Now goes back into the shotgun. Donald Brown, the rookie from UConn, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Chris Kelsey made the tackle.
Well, this is going to be one of the interesting matchups today. The Buffalo Bills this season, the worst in the NFL against the run. The Indianapolis Colts this year, the worst in the NFL running the football. So something's got to give at some point.
2nd and 10.
If there is a glaring weakness for this Indianapolis Colts team, it is running the football. They've got to get it going into the playoffs.
That's one of the priorities Jim Caldwell told us heading into the postseason. Manning to Dallas Clark. Cordo made the tackle. Well, Dallas Clark having just a spectacular season. He came in needing 7 catches to become only the 2nd tight end in NFL history to have 100 catches in a season, joining Tony Gonzalez.
I can't believe Dallas Clark is out there without gloves on his hands today. No sleeves. I understand that, but receivers usually wear gloves in these conditions.
Again, Reggie Wayne with some running room. Down inside the 30, close to the 27.
Just a little bubble screen to the outside. Reggie Wayne knows what to do when he gets that ball in his hand. We have not seen, other than that one throw that was intercepted, Peyton Manning trying to really throw the ball up the field. Kind of what you expect in these conditions.
First down, Colts. Dallas Clark with some running room and another Indianapolis first down. Well, we talked to Dallas about coming in, needing those 7 catches to reach 100. He said, I don't know if there's going to be 7 completions in the entire game.
Well, I have a funny feeling we're going to find out. Peyton Manning doing his part to try and give him an example. Do you think he wants to get Dallas Clark and Reggie Wayne to 100 catches?
Well, he's more than halfway there today with 4 receptions, and Wayne has 4 as well.
The Colts is number 2 in the NFL in red zone offense. They are hard to stop.
Manning. Tipped, incomplete.
That wasn't tipped. I think it hit the referee in the back of the head. He tried to duck and get under it. Peyton, I'll tell you what, he's lucky he ducked. Watch where this ball hits him. Boop, right off the shoulder.
Yeah. Wayne was the intended receiver. Reggie Wayne, one catch away from 100 on the season. Second time he would have hit that milestone. Clark, Dallas Clark, stopped just short of the goal line by George Wilson and Paul Posluszny, the middle linebacker.
Well, I thought for a second that we were going to see Dallas Clark get into the end zone for the 11th time this year. This little screen patch, you can see the lineman trying to get out in front of Dallas Clark. Couldn't quite get into the end zone, but boy, a lot of good creativity in this short passing game on this drive by the Indianapolis Colts.
Mike Hart, in his second year out of Michigan, has checked into the backfield. 11th play of the drive coming up. Manning over the head of Reggie Wayne, who is looking for a flag but won't get one. Good coverage by Reggie Corner, who's coming off a rough outing last week against Atlanta, beaten for a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, the first play of the game, Roddy White went deep for a touchdown. Matt Ryan found him for a 47-yard touchdown. Reggie Corner trying to put a better performance out there on the field today.
Hart stays in the game, the lone back. Second and goal. They give it to him. Fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Colts. Mike Hart seeing playing time today with Chad Simpson out with a concussion.
And again, the Colts answer as they do so well so often. Mike Hart not getting a lot of chances this year to carry the football, but taking advantage of the opportunity in these conditions to show he can still play some football as well.
And we'll see Matt Stover back kicking for the Colts this week, giving Adam Vinatieri a little more time to recover from his knee surgery 10 weeks ago. And the extra point is good. All tied here in Orchard Park. 12-play drive as the Colts come right back, and we may have seen the last of Peyton Manning for the day. Curtis Painter, the rookie out of Purdue, the 6th-round draft pick, has his helmet on. Is set to go when the Colts take possession once again. A squib kick, and it rolls out of bounds. Smart play by Justin Jenkins.
Kicking team, by rule, the ball will be placed at the 40-yard line. It will be Buffalo ball, 1st and 10.
A balmy 14 degrees here in Orchard Park, but with the wind chill, it's below 0 at -2. Forecast for continued snow and wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. Marshawn Lynch is the lone setback as the Bills take over, 1st and 10 for their own 40. Lynch tries to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Eric Foster made the stop. 2nd and 10 for the Bills. Incomplete. Tried to check it down to Marshawn Lynch. Lynch couldn't bring it in.
Hey, Bill, quick question for you. You're an Indianapolis Colts fan, hypothetically. If that happened to one of your receivers in week 16 or week 15 of the NFL season, should you have rested him or not?
Well, that's the exact point that Bill Polian and Jim Caldwell were making, that we don't want to take any chances.
That's a very concrete example. Wes Welker, as valuable as anybody on that New England Patriots team, that did not look like a very good-looking knee injury. I'm not speculating, but that could have been one of the Colts players.
Colts showing blitz on 3rd and long. Again, they swing it out to Lynch, and he's going to be stopped well short of the 1st down. The Bills are going to have to punt. Kelvin Hayden made the tackle.
2-yard gain on the play brings up 4th and 8. Brian Mormon in punt formation.
So again, we'll see Brian Mormon has had an outstanding year, averaging almost 47 yards a punt. TJ rushing again is back deep for Indianapolis, standing at about the 19-yard line. Warren cutting into the wind. Waving people off. It's a short kick, but takes a Buffalo bounce. And will be down at the 21-yard line as Peyton Manning once again comes out for another series.
Well, we know why he's out there at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get the ball to
No, it's okay.
Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark. You know, 2 more times for Dallas Clark, 1 more time for Reggie Wayne, and we see a substitution in the middle of this drive to get Curtis Painter in.
From the 21-yard line, we're tied at 7 here in Orchard Park. And that is caught by Hank Baskett. 4th catch of the season for the Colts. That's what they're trying to do. Reggie Wayne 1 catch away from 100, and Dallas Clark is 2. Second and 3. Wow. Nowhere. Stop for a loss. Drayton Florence, the cornerback, led the surge.
Good pursuit by the Buffalo Bills defense on that play. A loss of 4 puts the Indianapolis Colts in a 3rd and 7 situation. You can see great job right there by Paul Leslie scraping around number 51, showing up right in the hole where Donald Brown wanted to go.
So let's see what the Colts can do on 3rd and 7. Manning, the sideline. That's caught by Austin Collie, the rookie out of BYU. And a first down for the Colts.
Well, great call. Peyton Manning, as we know, and he talked to us about it yesterday, he has the freedom to change the plays that come in anytime he wants. He just has such a great feel for what's going on in the field, the coverage that might be coming. Throws that ball nice and cool, under control. Hits Austin Collie for a big first down.
And that was good for 16 yards. From the 39. Manning to Dallas Clark. And he's 1 catch away from 100. Leslie made the tackle. And that could be the final play of the opening quarter.
Well, Bill, one of the things that is not overlooked in the NFL, but maybe publicly might not be understood, is the ability of Peyton Manning to not get sacked. And today in these conditions, he's throwing the ball quick most of the time, but every single year, 6 times since 1998, the Colts have led the NFL as far as sacks allowed.
Gets it off with 1 second left, and Reggie Wayne, who reaches 100 but is stopped immediately. So that's the end of the first quarter. Reggie Wayne made his way to the sideline after his 100th catch of the season. 2nd year for him, 100 or more.
Dallas Clark right there in the backfield needs 1.
3rd and 4. And they get it to him. And tried to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose 1. Good pressure by Chris Kelsey.
Well, all right. We see Peyton Manning walking off the field for probably the last time today. His sole purpose was to get the ball to Dallas Clark and Reggie Wayne. And, of course, execute the offense efficiently, as he always seems to do. But mission accomplished for those 2 guys.
And how special that is. Only the 2nd tight end, again, in NFL history, with 100 catches in a season. Joining Tony Gonzalez. Parrish. Trying to keep his feet and finally brought down at the 23-yard line. Snow continues to fall here in Orchard Park. T.O. making his way onto the field. He came in 49 yards away from moving into 3rd place as one of the NFL's all-time leading receivers. Last week he became only the 6th player in NFL history to record 1,000 career receptions. Jackson across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
We're seeing a lot of players on that field, Bill, looking like they're on skates out there. That field is getting harder as it gets colder here, and as that snow settles in and packs in on that turf, we're going to see a lot of players slipping and having a hard time keeping their balance out there.
2nd and 7, I formation. Jackson again, the deep back. Toss back to Fred Jackson. There's some good hitting going on out there. And we have a penalty marker as Jackson gets it out just past the 30-yard line.
Outside. Defense. Number 98. Offside penalty. Repeat. 2nd down. Correction. The number was 68.
68, that's Eric Foster, the left defensive tackle. 98 is Robert Mathis, who's resting a quad injury. Not expecting to see him today, and Dwight Freeney is inactive. Second and 2. Jackson. And that's a Buffalo first down at the 35.
Bill, how bad has it been for this Buffalo Bills offense this year? Or actually go back 23 games. When they've scored 16 or more points, it only happened 7 times in the last 23 games. They're 5-2. When they don't score 16 points, their record is 0-16.
They, of course, came in with a roster devastated by injuries. Again, Jackson. Out past the 40. They added linebacker Nick Harris to IR this week. That brought Buffalo's total this season to 19. And at least this year, that has a lot to do with their ranking.
Look at that, though. In the last 7 years, not once have they been ranked higher than 25th in the NFL. That is a truly offensive offense, no doubt. It's an exercise in futility for the last 7 years.
2nd and 4. Fitzpatrick. Oh! And that is batted away, intended for Lee Evans. And the snow is starting to come down harder. Jamie Silva knocked it away.
Now this is the hardest direction to throw the football in this stadium, kind of blowing into this quartering wind from Ryan Fitzpatrick's left to right. And it's hard enough to throw when it's this cold out there. The ball is hard. The ball kind of swells up, and it does not have the normal soft feel to it. For a quarterback, your hands are cold. It is hard to get a good grip on that football. Made it even tougher by throwing into the wind.
And the incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 4. Fitzpatrick, Evans, and that'll be a first down for the Bills. Lee Evans last week became Buffalo's 3rd all-time leading receiver. In his 6th year out of Wisconsin, and just a pro's pro.
Now, one of the things that's unique about Lee Evans, and there are many, many things, is that he averaged, over the first 5 years of his career, he's averaged over 15 yards a catch. Only one player in NFL history has averaged over 15 yards a catch for the first 6 years. Guy you might have heard of, Jerry Rice. This year, Lee Evans is just under 15 yards a catch, so he might not break it.
Averaging 14.1. First down, Jackson. And does a great job keeping his feet into Colts territory down to the 45-yard line. Aaron Francisco, who started today at strong safety for Bullet, made the tackle.
And another good, strong run by Fred Jackson right at the gut. We knew we were going to see a lot of them today. And we just got word from New York, Bill, that Wes Welker's knee injury indeed is serious. He will not return today. We don't know the extent of it, but it is not looking good for Wes Welker.
Jackson again, the lone setback. Fitzpatrick. Up top, going for T.O. and incomplete.
You know, one of the things that has really been frustrating for Terrell Owens on the outside is they've been not been able to hook up with any of the quarterbacks on the deep ball on a regular basis. You see that ball thrown out of bounds last week. Brian Brom, on a play where I really felt that Terrell Owens could have gone up and tried to break it up, he threw a ball a little bit short and inside that was intercepted. But the bottom line is they've not been able to get on the same page up the field. Terrell Owens has been open like he was in that last play. They just can't quite get it done.
3rd and 2. Jackson. And he'll be stopped short of the first down.
Really a good play by Irvin Baldwin, number 94, coming in there. Was not fooled at all by that play, and the fans are upset that Perry Fuel is not going to go for it here on 4th and a little bit less than 2 yards. I hear him. I understand.
Baldwin, by the way, started today at left defensive end for Robert Mathis.
This is a good potential fake situation, too. I don't know whether Perry Fuel's got one up his sleeve, but this is a situation where you might see one.
T.J. Rushing standing back inside his own 10-yard line, awaiting the punt by Brian Moorman. And it bounds. They are some of the greatest fans in the world here in Buffalo, the Bills fans, and this is a hearty bunch in these conditions.
Bill, when we were driving over to the stadium this morning, about 3 hours before game time, it was like a little army of Bills fans just walking down the street like it was no big deal. You and I, we walked from the car to the breakfast and we about died.
Well, Curtis Painter is in the ball game. Last week was his first NFL regular season action. He was 4 of 11 for 44 yards, an interception, and a fumble that was returned for a touchdown when he came in late in the 3rd quarter. The Texans need to win and then have 2 of the following teams lose: Baltimore, Denver, or the Jets. Brown, again, fighting to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Kyle Williams, the right defensive tackle, made the stop.
Well, good opportunity for Curtis Painter here, although this is not the opportunity I think he was thinking about when he came into this season.
Colts 6th-round draft pick. Solid career, starting 41 games at Purdue. Painter under pressure, keeps his feet, gets rid of it and almost intercepted, but incomplete. Jacob Tammy was the intended receiver.
Well, right here you can see how difficult it is to function right there, especially when you're under pressure. You had big Kyle Williams coming around the edge. He saw him in his face, and he couldn't really set and throw that ball the way he wanted to.
So Pat McAfee, the rookie punter, will stand in his own end zone, 3 yards deep. Roscoe Parrish set to return near midfield.
What a great punt.
A boomer, and it's taken at the 44-yard line by Parrish. And the snow is really beginning to fall now. Jackson. Off a nice little block by T.O., still on his feet and inside the 40-yard line.
T.O. excited about that. Not known for his blocking ability on a regular basis, but right there, showing a little bit of enthusiasm about it. You're going to see him cracking inside, right? Oh, he was a big... It wasn't like he devastated anybody, but he sure did a good job getting in the way.
Just trying to stay warm.
You know, it's good to see him having fun out there. It's been a frustrating year for him, I'm sure. But he does seem to be genuinely happy.
And that's a first down to the 39-yard line. Play action. Stupar, the tight end. And he picks up maybe a yard.
Well, really well played by Jamie Silva, the safety, coming down, and a little shot put. That kind of looked like the way you throw the football on a regular basis, Bill. but very well played by Silva for only a 1-yard gain.
Now, how about these conditions? What are the things that the players are having to contend with out there?
Well, it's just number one. Every time you come back into the ball game, you've got to get the blood flowing again, and then to hold on to the football if you're a receiver or running back, quarterback, very difficult.
Jackson with a nice hole. Fred Jackson. And out of bounds close to the 20-yard line. Jacob Lacey pushed him out.
But and Bill, from a defensive perspective, we saw a great example right there. The cutback. Watch how Fred Jackson takes his ball to the right side and he cuts back. The problem is the defensive players that are pursuing in order to stop and change direction. It's very, very difficult. The running back knows where he wants to go. The defensive players are reacting to him, and they just don't have the footing or the confidence in the footing to be able to break and make the play.
Fred Jackson already over 80 yards. Came in needing 150 to reach 1,000. It's been a day of milestones already. Jackson. And he'll lose a couple.
Thank you.
Ramon Humber, the rookie out of North Dakota State, made the stop.
Yeah, good play that time by this backup Buffalo defense. You're going to see Ramon Humber shooting up right in. I think he scrapes right in this way into the gap, and you're going to see him stepping up to make the play, finishing up. And actually, he came from the inside linebacker position, but hard for me to see the wide on the wide out there on the football field, but did a great job of stepping up into the gap.
2nd and 10. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Fitzpatrick guns it to Evans. Touchdown.
A really well thrown ball by Ryan Fitzpatrick. Look at this, faking to his left, setting his feet. Really difficult in these conditions, and then that's one hit that Lee Evans is not upset about taking from Aaron Francisco, knocking him into the end zone for his 7th touchdown of the season. Ryan Fitzpatrick says, woo, he's happy about that one. 2 touchdowns. It's been a long time since he's thrown 2 touchdown passes.
21 yards, and the extra point is good. And we welcome you back to Orchard Park as the Bills fans are enjoying themselves on this blustery day. The wind chill below 0, and the snowfall is heavy.
These people are just fantastic here, I'll tell you. They love it.
And we hear that a little later the weather may get worse. Is that possible?
I don't know how that can happen. We can barely see the field from where we're at right now.
Sam Jaguar, who is from Quebec, is back deep. And he takes it. Jaguar with an opening. Just signed off the practice squad this week, and a nice return. Well, 1st and 10. I think those opinions were drawn right along predictable lines.
Yes, I think
the coach and the players. They give it to Mike Hart on 1st down, and he battles his way back to the line of scrimmage.
The Giants just laying down here at the end of the year, huh?
It's been a disappointing season for the Giants and their fans. That defense has really struggled. 2nd and 8, Peyton, and that's caught by Tammy. Jacob Tammy in his 2nd year out of Kentucky, a 4th-round draft pick in 2008, with the catch and a 1st down for the Indianapolis Colts.
Nice job by Painter to stand in there strong in the pocket, lay a nice ball in there between defenders. Good completion to Jacob Tammy. They're going back to the Colts thing, though. I wonder how Shannon and Boomer would feel now after seeing what's happened with Wes Welker. Of course, it's always hindsight, but just more support for the right decision being made by the Colts, I believe.
Hart stays in the game. Painter with time over the middle, incomplete. Tried to hit Austin Collie. And the official is down, helped up now. And it's just slippery out there for everybody.
Yeah.
2nd and 10.
This is the game that these players will remember for the rest of their lives. They'll talk about this day because you just don't get a chance to. You see a lot of these games on TV when you see historical perspective, but you don't get to play in many of them.
And we've got a timeout on the field. Is this fun for the players?
Well,
in a way.
It's fun when it's over. It's fun when you thaw out when it's over. While it's going on, it's not a whole heck of a lot of fun.
It wasn't that bad before the game started. We had this is the scene at kickoff, and we had a little bit of snow falling at that time. But now this has just turned into a blizzard.
Now, you said it wasn't that bad, but relatively speaking, I guess it was. You went down the field. It was not this. But comparatively speaking, yes, 100% right.
Garth DeFelice, our umpire, is the official who went down. So that's why we have a timeout on the field.
Probably examining just to make sure that there's not any sign of a head injury. That field again now is very, very hard. You're going to see he slips right there, and that boom, right on the. You see that when his head hit the turf.
Actually, one of the Bills took him out.
Yep, he got his legs knocked out from underneath him, but it was that head slamming into the hard turf that they're probably concerned about. They want the doctors, just as the players. You know, there's such an awareness now for the head injuries that have taken place over the years in the NFL for the players, but you know, you don't want to mess around with anybody that hits their head. Those officials, they give it up every week for the game as well.
So 2nd and 10, play resumes from the 41-yard line. Peyton tried to get it to Hart, fumble, scramble for the football, and the Bills have it.
Now this was just a complete breakdown, Bill. It was supposed to be a draw play. The ball handler.
No flag on the play. The result of the play is a fumble.
We talked about how difficult the ball handling is
ball. 1st and 10.
in these conditions, but you'll see right here, that was a miscommunication because Mike Hart, the running back, was going for the blitz pickup, thinking it was a pass, but you saw Curtis Peyton right there trying to give the ball to Mike Hart, and that's the problem when you get young players. Curtis Peyton, a rookie, 6th rounder out of Purdue, and then Mike Hart, a 2nd-year player out of Michigan. They're not used to being out there together. They're not used to being out there, period, on a regular basis. Very difficult. A lot of times you have those miscommunications.
Talking to Tom Moore, the senior offensive coordinator.
And Tom Moore's job is a little different when Peyton Manning's out there on the field versus Curtis Painter. No knock on Curtis Painter, but Tom Moore has to work a little bit harder.
Chris Kelsey, by the way, came away with the football, credited with the fumble recovery. Fred Jackson now. Nice little move to cut it back inside and close to another 1st down for the Buffalo Bills.
Well, Fred Jackson's looking very comfortable out there on the slippery, frozen field here at Rich Stadium. He needs 60 yards for 1,000. That means he's got 90 on the day. Pretty impressive in the 1st half.
And this is the guy who has done it all for these Buffalo Bills. The only other player in the NFL with a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a touchdown pass this season is on the other side of the field and not playing today, Joseph Adai. Fitzpatrick going deep. T.O. touchdown!
Well, they finally hit one, Bill. We talked about it a little bit earlier. That's the 2nd time this year that Ryan Fitzpatrick and Terrell Owens have hooked up on a long one. We were there in Jacksonville when they hooked up on a 98-yarder. This one right here, right on the money. You see the great protection up front for Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Terrell Owens got behind Kelvin Hayden. Now let us point out, these Buffalo fans have every right to celebrate. They haven't seen much excitement this year, but this is against largely the backup defense of the Indianapolis Colts.
3rd touchdown pass of the day for Ryan Fitzpatrick. That gives him 9 on the season. 5th touchdown reception of the year for Terrell Owens. Seidel on to extend the Buffalo lead. You think T.O. is having any fun out there? Standing on the bench,
Yep.
leading the crowd.
I read an article this week talking about how much he appreciated the people here and how good the experience has been for him from that perspective. Yeah, 8 yards, right? To pass Tim Brown, yeah. Terrell Owens needs...
He's not as cold right now, is he?
Only 8 yards to pass Tim Brown into third place on the all-time list.
Meanwhile, we talked about the sort of audition that Ryan Fitzmagic was having today in order to be considered at least in the Bills' plans going forward, and he certainly has produced with 3 touchdown passes.
Produced very, very well today and has not looked in sync most of the season, but today he looks very sharp.
Line drive kick. It hits Jaguar and goes into the end zone. And out of bounds for a touchback. So the Colts will take over. 1st and 10. 2:24 left to go in the half. And
wow,
there's the definition of Hardy fan right there.
Ooh, man. That is somebody's son. Oh, that's my boy.
I have to tell you, these folks are having a great time.
Oh, look at these guys. Wow.
And taking your shirt off is not always a good idea.
No, no, no.
I think it was 228.
21-7 Buffalo.
Well, you know, Bill, there are going to be detractors that say that, you know, the decision that was made last week not to keep harping on, but it is a very, very relevant story of Indianapolis giving up the quest for 16-0 last week. Now they're behind it for their 2nd week in a row, and what does this do to their overall psyche and confidence as a team?
Well, the Bills.
Freak thing.
Fixing the clock. The Colts so focused on getting back to the Super Bowl, which they won in the 2006 season, then the 2 disappointing losses to the Chargers the last 2 years in the postseason, and they would love to get that monkey off their backs by beating the Chargers at home in the AFC Championship game to punch their ticket to Miami and Super Bowl 44.
No doubt.
Mike Hart stays in the game. Peyton will throw over the middle and intercepted. And Kerry Harris, the rookie out of USC, with his 2nd interception of the game.
Well, that ball just got away from Curtis Painter. Austin Collie was definitely open. Over the middle, you're going to see him flashing in from the left side down the middle of the field, or the right side of your screen. That ball just sails over the top, and again, that's Kerry Harris with his 2nd interception of the day. 2 of them, you don't get any easier interceptions than the 2 he's had today. And Austin Collie finishes it off, but Curtis Painter knows, you know what? I had an open receiver, sure, it's tough conditions, but I still got to make that throw.
And that is 28 interceptions on the season for the Buffalo Bills, and it beats the mark set 40 years ago, 67, when they had 27 picks. Jackson. Tough yards inside, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. And the snowplows have come out to clear the sidelines and also the end zone. Accumulation now here in Orchard Park. And let's see what the Buffalo Bills can do with these last 2 minutes of the first half. Already leading 21-7. Jackson, play action. Stupar, the tight end, gets out of bounds.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick looks very comfortable in these conditions out here. I'm impressed by how he seems to be relatively unfazed out there, delivering the ball, Nice spirals coming out of his hand right and very accurate today.
In his 4th year out of Harvard, going back to last season with Cincinnati, Fitzpatrick is 6-4 in his last 10 starts, 3-4 as a starter here with the Bills. 1:53 left to play in the half. Fitzpatrick, Evans with the catch and out of bounds to stop the clock. And that is close to the 30-yard line.
We can't tell for certain which yard line that is, but it's somewhere right around that 30-yard line, it looks like.
9-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 1 from the 29.
And 2nd and 1. Bills looking for more points before halftime. Jackson again, the lone setback. And they give it to him. He's had a great first half. Brought down hard after a pickup of 3 by Lacey, the cornerback. And that will move the chains.
Well, good tackle by Lacey picking him up, but not good enough to keep Fred Jackson from picking up that first down.
Okay.
1:20 left in the half. Short drop over the middle. Kloffenstein, the tight end. Another Buffalo first down, and the Bills will take a timeout. The Bills with 1 timeout remaining. Colts with all of theirs. Looking for more points with 1:12 left in the opening half. And we're going to give you an approximation. The ball's at about the 15-yard line. First and 10. Jackson with some running room and steps out of bounds.
Just a little bit more of what we were expecting today, Bill. You know, the
Repeat first down.
The Buffalo Bills, we got a holding penalty on Buffalo there. And that, I guess, too, we were kind of expecting. They've been penalized a lot this year with all the change up in that offensive line up front. The 9th different combination, as you stated. But they have come to play today. And Richie Incognito, we had the game last week in Atlanta. He told us that these last couple weeks they had a very, very high motivation to try and get Fred Jackson to 150 yards, give him 1,000 on the season. And that was because he's such a warrior, because he really is such a great leader and example for this football team.
First and 20. They give it to Fred Jackson. Eludes the first man. And finally is brought down. Kelvin Hayden, the cornerback, made the stop. Penalties really an issue all season long for the Bills 2 weeks ago against New England. They played well, but they were called 11 times for 124 yards.
And they've had 3 different quarterbacks switching around this year, different snap counts. Very difficult.
They have to get to the 5 for a first down. Jackson continuing to run down to 29 seconds and a timeout. Bills will take their final timeout of the half. The numbers for Fred Jackson, it's been a very good opening half. 120 total yards, 104 on the ground. 46 yards away from 1,000. 3rd and 9. 29 seconds left in the half.
Relax.
And some confusion before the snap.
Play game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down. Remains 3rd down.
Out of a timeout, that is borderline inexcusable. I think it is inexcusable. There was confusion about how to line up. Terrell Owens and Lee Evans were discussing who was supposed to be on the ball and who was off the ball. What they had there truly was a failure to communicate.
So 3rd and 14. CO is in motion, and again we have a whistle before the snap.
Really having a lot of difficulty getting this play run.
Don Carey, our referee today. He'll walk over and explain things to Perry Fuel.
And you know what I think happened, what they probably told Perry Fuel is that they forgot to mark off the 5-yard penalty for delay of game.
All right, so now 3rd and 14 from the 19-yard line. Fitzpatrick checks it down to Fred Jackson, and he's out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 22 seconds left in the half. Humber made the stop, and this could be an adventure, but we have a penalty marker, and it's on the Colts.
5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
So they'll get another shot at 3rd down. Perry Fuel there on the Buffalo sideline. First time he's been a head coach at any level. He told us regardless of what happens, it has been a tremendous experience and an honor to coach the Buffalo Bills. So 3rd and 9, 22 seconds left in the half. Colts showing blitz. Here they come. They pick it up. Fitzpatrick in and out of the hands of Kloffenstein, the tight end.
Well, that ball was extremely well thrown by Ryan Fitzpatrick. There was a very small window right there to get the ball to Kloffenstein, but Ryan Fitzpatrick very decisive and quick and accurate with his throw. You see this thing comes out humming, and look at right off of Kloffenstein's hand. You know, down in the red zone, there is very, very little room to make these plays. When there's an opening, a seam, a crack in the defense, you've got to get that ball on time and accurate, and that ball was the only place Ryan Fitzpatrick could have thrown it.
Ryan Lindell, who's been remarkably accurate from inside of 40 yards and continues to do so. That from 31 yards out, and the Bills with 14 seconds left in the half now lead 24-7.
Well, Bill, you were talking about Perry Fuel, and we've discussed it a lot over the last few days too, but you know, considering the circumstances and considering what he's had to go through with injuries, and the offensive coordinator Turk Schoner was fired prior to the season opener, Dick Duran fired halfway through the season. He's done a really, really good job, in my opinion, for not having any time to prepare to keep this team together. They played hard almost every single snap of every single game since he's taken over. There was a little bit of a let-up last week. We both agreed last week in Atlanta. But I believe he deserves at least a chance to present to Buddy Nix, the new general manager here, and Ralph Wilson, his plan, what he would do and why he believes he's fit for this opportunity. And I think he will get that opportunity to present his case. But a lot of names being thrown around out there for possible replacements from the outside. I think that's probably the way they're going to go. Ron Rivera is one of the names that comes up quite often now recently. Brian Billick is another name that's come up in the last few days. And then, depending on the status of the New York Jets with the playoffs, Brian Schottenheimer is another name that's been jumping into the picture in the last couple of days as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Sam Jaguar again is back deep. Field the kick for the Indianapolis Colts. And Jaguar takes it. Tries to get to the outside and does. A nifty return by Sam Jaguar. And out of bounds with 7 seconds left in the half.
Jaguar showing a little bit of spunk there as a kickoff return. That's twice. He's had 2 very good returns, trying to take advantage of his opportunity.
And again, he's from Canada, fitting because we're so close to the Canadian border. He's from Quebec and played football there at Sherbrooke College.
Used to a much wider, much longer football field as well.
And not as many downs.
Not as many downs, exactly.
Timeout. Indianapolis. Their first charge. And 30-second timeout.
And the Colts discussing what they want to do here. 7 seconds realistically, they might be able to get one play in and get a quick 10 or 15 yards and get a timeout called, be pushing it. The question is whether they want to just try and heave one up and go for the Hail Mary here right now and see if Curtis Painter can get it all the way into the end zone.
Saw Peyton Manning over there, and we talked to Curtis about Peyton, and he said, you know, just being able to sit around, watch how he prepares, watch how he practices, and just absorb as much as I can has been a tremendous learning experience.
Peyton's calling him over here right now. Curtis Painter's last 2 plays have been a fumble and interception, so he's probably not playing with a lot of confidence right now, but what a great opportunity to learn from what's going to go down as one of, if not the greatest quarterback of all time, Peyton Manning, to watch his preparation week after week.
7 seconds left. Painter incomplete at the feet of Austin Collie. 2 seconds left in the half.
Well, they were trying to do just what we were talking about, trying to get the ball to Austin Collie at about the 25-yard line and then get the quick timeout called. Curtis Painter was turning to the referee before he saw whether that ball was completed or not.
So time for one more play. Painter flush from the pocket and tripped up. Sacked Kyle Williams with his 4th sack of the season. The snow has actually let up quite a bit, and as you can see, they've cleared the field. The snow plows very busy during our break at halftime, and still you can see the right side of your screen kind of finishing up. Temperature still with the wind chill factor below 0 here just outside of Buffalo at Ralph Wilson Stadium in Orchard Park, New York.
You know, it's kind of frustrating, Bill, as a player. You go in the locker room and you're literally frozen when you go in there in the locker room at halftime. You get that 10 or 12-minute break. You get thawed out just a little bit, get the blood flowing again, and then you got to come back out and you hit that tunnel in the field and you're reminded where you are very quickly.
And they had to delay the kick. They were all set to kick, and then they noticed that the snowplow guy was racing along the sideline trying to clear the back end zone over there.
Just want to let him know he wasn't done yet. He wants to finish the job.
That's a pretty good lead blocker. Squib kick. Fielded on one hop. And this is not a bad effort. Good return out close to the 40-yard line by Jamie Silva. So just underway in the second half. That's Curtis Painter, the rookie 6th-round draft pick out of Purdue, with the Indianapolis Colts trailing 24-7. Close to the 38-yard line. Mike Hart getting a good look at him, the backup running back. 2nd year out of Michigan, 6th-round pick in 2008.
And that right there was about the most physical run we've seen today out of the Indianapolis Colts. Straight off the left side behind Tony Hugo, the 2nd-round draft choice in 07, who has been a disappointment his first couple years in the league. But Jim Caldwell said, you know what, the last 6-7 weeks, he's really picked up his game and turned on. He's playing very well right now. Getting a chance to play because of Charlie Johnson being held out.
Short drop. Painter checks it down to Hart. And Hart with a nice catch at midfield. John Cordo, the linebacker, made the stop.
Well, if I put myself in Curtis Painter's head right now, I'm thinking, you know what, first half didn't go too well. I need to make a statement this second half, because the true backup quarterback for the Colts, Jim Sorgi, out with a shoulder injury. He knows that next year there's going to be decisions made for himself. He's got to play a little bit better this second half.
Hart, good penetration by the Bills. George Wilson was there along with Aaron Schobel. Schobel was one of the few bright spots last week against Atlanta. He had 3 sacks, bringing his season total to 10, his first multi-sack game since 2006.
But one of the big questions around Buffalo this week is this going to be the last time they see Aaron Schobel in a Buffalo Bills uniform or even on a football field? He's contemplating retirement.
Loss of 3, so 2nd and 13 for the Colts. Back in their own territory. Painter, incomplete. Threw it behind Hank Basket.
And you can't say enough about this guy, and we've had a chance to get to know him over the years. An incredible, consistent pass rusher. Kind of undersized if you look at the numbers on paper, but he consistently, year after year, finds a way to get the job done. He's gone from being a speed guy with incredible talent on the outside to more of a technician, Perry Fuels told us, but he's still very valuable. He's got 10 sacks on the year. A big part of things here. It's just a matter of whether he's at a point where he's too frustrated to continue on by what the Bills have been going through.
He's been one of the best in the NFL since he came into the league in 2001. Painter able to escape and then falls forward at the 43-yard line.
And that was Schobel coming around the edge along with Marcus Stroud, number 99. They're walking off together. They both were right there, had two hands on Painter. He just slipped out. You're going to see a good pass rush going against Hugo, and both of them, you know what they did? They hit each other and knocked each other off of the quarterback, Curtis Painter.
And it looks like the Colts are going to go for it on fourth down, 4th and 3. From the Buffalo 42-yard line. Painter, the slant, incomplete. 12:07 left to go in the third. 24-7 Bills as Buffalo goes back to work. Their first possession of the second half. Jackson, over 100 yards in the first half. And that's some tough running out across the 45 to the 46.
That is a really good 4-yard run for Fred Jackson right there.
Philip Wheeler, the Sam linebacker, finally brought him down.
Hitting the backfield initially, just keeps driving his legs, refuses to go down, and that's one of the qualities and characteristics that his teammates, specifically the offensive line, appreciate and respect so much about this guy.
44 yards short of 1,000. Of course, Jackson played his college football at Little Co-College in Iowa, so he's used to adverse weather. Jackson. Boy, nice move to pick up a couple.
Yeah, these last two runs he hasn't had a lot of help. It's been pretty much Fred Jackson against 11 Indianapolis Colts right there. That was really nothing designed, nothing there where the play was designed to go on the outside. He planted, cut back, and picked up another nice 2-yard gain.
How about that? No rushing yards for the Indianapolis Colts today. They're still without Joseph Adai. He's not playing.
Resting a couple of offensive linemen as well. Ryan Deem and Charlie Johnson are 2 tackles.
We also haven't seen much of Donald Brown, the rookie out of UConn. Jackson back inside, across midfield into Indianapolis territory, still turning his legs. What a run!
They're going to rule him down at the 31-yard line.
A wild play.
He did not hear the whistle, so kept those legs moving. That's one of the best runs we've seen all year.
Guys are losing their helmets and bouncing off other people. It's going to be a pickup of 22. Let's go back and look at it.
And you can just see him keep those legs driving, the bounce. The shoulders are square, and he was thinking that maybe he wasn't taken to the field, that maybe he had
tripped over his own man.
Would not have been ruled down by contact, so he got up and said, I didn't hear the whistle yet.
It's just for the...
Great effort by Fred Jackson.
They'll spot it at the 31. Now, he is one of those players that all of his teammates admire. 65 yards after contact, 129 on the day, and they want to see him reach 1,000 yards for the first time in his career. Jackson. Great move. Back inside and another first down. Wheeler made the tackle. Short drop. Fitzpatrick incomplete. T.O. was the intended receiver.
Well, on the Houston Texans. What a disappointing season it's been. They still have a chance, an outside shot at getting to the playoffs, but you look at how they started out the season, 5-2, and then hit a real cold period during the middle part of the season, and now just scrambling to stay alive in the playoff hunt.
2 of the 6 playoff spots in the AFC will be decided here in the final weekend. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Just over 9 minutes left in the third. Jackson with some room back inside. Hits a wall. Down close to the 15. Trying to untangle. There we go.
It's not fun being on the bottom of that pile. Trust me, I've been there a few times. It seems like you're down there for an eternity. And these Buffalo Bills, give them credit now. Jackson 43 yards on this drive. The Colts nothing all day running the ball. But these guys are, they know they've only got about 22 more minutes left in the season. They're going to play hard.
Jackson 55 yards away. Picks up 1 or 2 there. .24 carries.
146 yards, 4 to go. We'll see that effort the next time the Bills get the ball, I'm sure.
So Ryan Lindell is on to try the field goal from 33 yards out. And he's got it. That extends the Buffalo lead. We're back outside of Buffalo. Fred Jackson had all of the Bills' yards on that last drive. Now 4 yards away. I spoke earlier, 4 yards away from his first 1,000-yard season. And he has earned it. He has been a real workhorse for these Buffalo Bills all season. 7:32 left to play in the third. Now 27-7 Buffalo. Snow has abated somewhat, but it is still very cold here in Orchard Park.
Peyton fought putting on the jacket in the first half. I think
he's happy to have it now.
Yeah, he finally
the
realized.
hand warmers. Jaguar back deep again for the Colts. And he feels it at the 11. Sam Jaguar from Quebec trying to find a seam. 7:24 left to go in the third. Buffalo comfortably ahead, 27-7. The delay to Hart with some running room. Mike Hart, who had such a productive career at the University of Michigan. Chris Draft, the Sam linebacker, finally brought him down.
Well, you know, you're talking about the playoffs there too, but that was a great run by Mike Hart. But you look at the way it plays out. If it does work out, we were talking to Dwight Freeney yesterday, and he said ideally he'd love to get a chance at the 2 nemesis for the Colts since they've been here, to get the New England Patriots in their first round, the second round of the playoffs, and then meet up with San Diego and try and set that slate clean in the AFC Championship game. Said that the Chargers just seem to have had their number on that particular day the last couple of years.
Hart stacked up short of the line of scrimmage, a loss of a couple.
And you remember how it was back in the playoffs a few years back, when it just seemed as though the Colts could not beat the Patriots for the life of them. And they finally got that monkey off their back, and now the last couple of years it has been the San Diego Chargers. Peyton Manning knows it. He's highly, highly motivated. They've been prepping for the playoffs for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, they're already in playoff mode. We had a good visit with Peyton yesterday, and you can tell, you know, it was disappointing not to have a chance for the perfect season, but they are thinking about bigger things. Painter, incomplete. Basket couldn't bring it in. Hank Basket, 6 starts for the Eagles last season. 33 catches for 440 yards and 3 touchdowns, released by Philadelphia back in September. And signed by the Colts.
And Bill, on Peyton Manning, you know, when we were talking to him yesterday, he told us that Bill Polian wanted to come in and address the team on Wednesday about the issues regarding last week and the quest for 16-0. And Peyton said, you know what, this is a player's issue. Let me handle this. Let me talk to the team. And he did so, and it seems as though everybody's on the same page now, and Peyton kept them together once again.
Let's see what his backup Curtis Painter can do on 3rd and long, 3rd and 12. Painter incomplete at the feet of Jacob Tammy, the H-back. And the Colts will have to punt.
A tough situation for Curtis Painter. Coming in last week in the loss to the New York Jets, you know, he was hit and sacked, fumbled on a play that happened late in the game. There was the winning points for the New York Jets.
Peyton Manning actually took most of the reps with the first team this week. Painter didn't really get to run the offense till Friday. And it just... Did it get to the end zone? Bills take over at their own 20-yard line, leading 27-7, 5:34 left to play in the 3rd. And Fred Jackson, 4 yards away from his first 1,000-yard season. And clearly that has been a priority today for these Buffalo Bills to try to get him to that number. And he's got it. Fred Jackson. Over 1,000 yards for the season.
And everybody knows it too. They knew coming into this drive that Fred Jackson needed 1,000 yards. They're going to save that football. As soon as he got the 4 yards, you saw all the hands on the sidelines go up, celebrating the accomplishment. They know this young man deserves it. He gives it up for the team each and every week. There's the football. That'll go someplace special.
That was good for 20 yards. And it gets him at 166. Short drop, Fitzpatrick. Up the sideline for Evans and incomplete.
And the way he goes about his business is what endears his teammates and coaches to him even more so. They just love the way he carries himself on a day-to-day basis.
Always with a smile, works hard, very focused. He'll get it again, and he's at a career high in terms of yardage out close to midfield. And they'll put that away, a great souvenir for Fred Jackson.
Yeah.
In his 3rd season, his first 1,000-yard season.
Quite an accomplishment. You saw right there in that last carry that he can hurt you in a lot of different ways. He can hurt you to the edge with the cutback run, take it down the sideline, but he can move that pile if he needs to move the pile.
And he's 25 yards away from a 200-yard game. Already in career best territory. High formation, they give it to Jackson. Powering his way forward. Crowd loves it, down close to the 45-yard line.
Well, I think these people here in Buffalo, they've seen enough football to know when they've got something special. They know it's been a frustrating 10 years here and without going to the playoffs, but they know that with Fred Jackson back there as a big part of this young nucleus, they've got a chance to get pretty good if they just make a few key additions. Get the right man in here to make the calls, and they'll be on their way.
Snow is starting to come down harder again. Toss back to Jackson. And he'll lose a yard or two. Irvin Baldwin, the left defensive end who started today for Robert Mathis, made the stop. Penalty marker on the play. And it's going to be against the Buffalo Bills.
Offense, number 62. 10-yard penalty.
Richie Incognito, who signed a couple of weeks ago after being released by the Rams.
We talked about the playoff drought. Look at that, the Lions and the Bills in misery for 10 seasons. Raiders, Browns, and Niners bringing up second place, third place, I guess it would be.
Bills missing the postseason for the 10th consecutive year. The Colts are coming off a decade where they set NFL records with 115 victories, 7 consecutive 12-win seasons, 8 straight appearances in the playoff. Fitzpatrick caught by Evans.
This will be the Colts' 9th in 10 years. The 9th playoff berth in 10 years of this decade. So you're talking about opposite ends of the spectrum. And you know what? The first win of this decade was against the Buffalo Bills by the Colts, and this is actually it'd be the first game of
the new decade. They actually met here at Ralph Wilson Stadium almost exactly 10 years ago. On January 2nd, 2000, the Bills won 31-6. 2nd and 8 after the completion to Evans. Again, Jackson reverses his field and has some running room. Jackson out of bounds at the 20. Kelvin Hayden finally drove him out of bounds.
Well, you know what? The Bills are pulling all this off. Watch Ryan Fitzpatrick. This play, I think, was designed to be a cutback. You see Fitzpatrick going out in front and getting a nice block right there on Kelvin Hayden. Just enough to give Fred Jackson an extra 5 or 10 yards. I think it was by design, because the way Ryan Fitzpatrick came out after he made the toss, he was humming down that field. I think Fred Jackson was looking for him to kind of scoot in behind.
Fred Jackson over 200 yards now. That was good for 26, and a good block as well by Lee Evans. Jackson over 200 yards and swarmed under.
It's not a foul. You're in.
Might have lost a yard or two.
Came in the same year as Marshawn Lynch, but looking like he's established himself as the guy of the future here this year.
Play action. T.O. incomplete. Couldn't bring it in.
Well, the ball a little bit high. Ryan Fitzpatrick, if this ball is down on the numbers, Terrell Owens can make that catch. I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago he might have gone up after that, maybe giving up the ribs a little bit too. I don't think it really was a catchable ball, but a little older, a little wiser Terrell Owens right there making a decision not to go up for it.
Maybe he heard in these conditions snowshoes from Aaron Francisco.
Yes.
He had a good beat on him. This is a 36-yard field goal try by Lindell, and good. Well, during the break, they announced Fred Jackson's accomplishment of 1,000 yards on the season. He got a huge ovation. Fred with 12 carries in the third quarter for 103 yards.
That's a pretty impressive quarter.
New accumulation of snowfall on the field. Taken at the 11 by Jaguar. And out across the 35-yard line.
Yeah, feels like 3 degrees.
Oh, good. We've gotten into positive territory. 8 seconds remaining in the quarter. Peyton gets rid of it. That's caught. And bobbled and incomplete. Mike Hart was the intended receiver. We're back, and we want to just thank our crew today for an outstanding job. Really tough conditions, not only today, but setting up over the last couple of days here with temperatures in the single digits, the wind chill below 0. It wasn't easy. And as always, the men and women of CBS Sports doing spectacular work to bring you the NFL here on CBS.
Those guys on the camera, they give it up every week. You gotta love them. 2nd
and 10, they cleared the hash marks, so at least we can see those. The delay to Hart with some running room and out of bounds, close to a first down for the Colts. I was down there before the game. Steve, you were up here. You didn't venture out, but it was very cold. I went by and talked to some of the guys down there, and I'll tell you what, They're earning their money today.
Oh,
great job, guys.
No doubt about it. Yep, and happy about it. Look at that. Fired up. Now, I've been down on a Colt football field many, many times. I didn't need to see another one today.
From the 47-yard line, 30-7, Buffalo. Again, the delay, Hart. So hopes fading for the Houston Texans, not only for a spot in the postseason, but for their first winning record ever. Hart tripped up after a nice pickup again by Chris Kelsey, who's had an outstanding game.
Speaking of Houston, Bill, it pains me to bring this up, but Coach, who I have a lot of respect for, Gary Kubiak, been a lot of speculation about his future down there in Houston if his team finds a way to keep themselves out of the playoffs after such a good start, and it appears that that's probably going to be the case. So just another potential change of coaching staff.
3rd and 3. Let's get to the 43-yard line for a first down. Painter up the sideline, incomplete. Tried to hit Sam Jaguar. Dayton Florence, the cornerback, had very good coverage, so that'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 3.
And Drayton Florence had good coverage for sure. I don't know how many reps Jaguar and Curtis Painter have had together, and you couple that with the fact that they're throwing into the hardest corner of the field to throw, with the way this wind generally blows, very difficult completion there.
Roscoe Parrish back at about the 10-yard line, ready for the McAfee punt. And this is a booming punt that will bound into the end zone for a touchback. It's been a snowy day here just outside of Buffalo and Orchard Park, but these hardy fans have hung in there. They've seen Fred Jackson go over 1,000 yards on the season and working on a 200-yard rushing day. 12:48 left to play. Jackson's back in there, and they give it to him on first down. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Aaron Francisco, who started at strong safety today, made the stop. Here's the run for Jackson that took him over 1,000 yards for the season. He came in 150 yards short, so we figured it was a long shot, but they have given him the ball over and over again. 31 carries so far today for Fred Jackson.
You saw him there at the end thanking the fans. And really, these conditions have played very much in his favor. This hard, cold field, he's been taking advantage of the pursuit by the Colts defense and cutting back for big gains.
On the 20-yard line, Fitzpatrick incomplete, tried to hit his tight end Stupar. Freddie Keaho knocked it away, the inside linebacker, in his 4th year out of San Diego State.
On the coverage.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Bills.
3rd and 10 from the 20.
Bills 5 of 11 on 3rd down. They have not been great on that this season.
25%, the worst in the NFL.
Fitzpatrick to T.O. He's brought down or pushed out of bounds immediately. Tim Jennings will be credited with the stop.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick being safe, protecting that 30-7 lead, didn't feel like pushing the ball up the field. And Terrell Owens didn't feel like going down in that snow either. He was trying to do whatever he could do to keep himself up off that ground.
So Brian Moorman will come out, standing inside his own 10-yard line. TJ Rushing is back deep for Indianapolis at his own 38. It's almost blocked. Rushing with some running room and a nice return out across the 40, and we'll check the flag.
Personal foul. Unnecessary offense. On the kicking team, number 50, late hit, 15-yard penalty. It would be Indianapolis ball, 1st and 10.
They call that on Josh Stamer, the backup linebacker. Back on this snowy day. They're just outside of Buffalo, Orchard Park, New York. The Colts take over, trailing 30-7 with 11:09 left to play. Curtis Peyton in at quarterback, throws it away. So no flag on the play. 2nd and 10.
And no let up in this Buffalo Bills defense. They've got all their starters out there still.
Mike Hart gets it on the delay. Great penetration. Kyle Williams has had a heck of a game. You talk to the Bills and almost to a man, they'll tell you that Kyle Williams may be one of the most underrated linemen in the league. He's just tough and physical, and he plays hard on every down.
Well, he beat Jamie Richard right off the ball. It was a mismatch from the word go, and then made the nice tackle, keeping his balance to go up underneath Mike Hart and make the tackle for a 4-yard loss.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 15. Colts with just 25 yards rushing. But again, they played most of the game without their starters. That's caught. Well short of the first down. Colin Cloherty, who's the rookie tight end from Brown, who was signed this week from the practice squad, with the catch, but it'll be 4th down.
Drayton Florence sitting there waiting on him the whole way. Curtis Painter getting a lot of experience today. Not a lot of it very good at this point, but he'll learn from it.
Parrish back deep for Buffalo. McAfee's averaged 47 yards a punt. Bobbled but fielded at the 11 by Parrish. There's T.O., and let's see if the Bills try to get him the football. Fred Jackson, heck of a day. Dallas Clark on the Indy sideline. Reggie Wayne is there as well. Their day was done early. Jackson, the deep back in the eye. 9:38 left to go. T.O. And fighting hard, trying to get that 7 yards.
He's close to it. Kind of an awkward way to go down. T.O. almost got his right leg caught up in the little pile there, but showing a little bit of elusiveness after he made the catch. He's about 1 yard short.
That was good for 6.
You'll see here at the very end, watch his right leg. It almost got caught up. That hit from the side there.
2nd and 4. Play action. Fitzpatrick running with it. Slides forward for a 1st down.
And you see how slippery that field is, how hard it is right there. Ryan Fitzpatrick slid about 8 yards on that grass, or on that artificial turf. The referee spotted he slid another 5 yards after he hit the turf. Ryan, very mobile guy. He gets out on the edge a lot of times, not talked about with him, but
1st and 10 from the 28.
Here's the slide. Right there, you can see the mark where he started, and
another 3 or 4 yards.
Yep,
the hard way. There you go.
Yep, there's the line right there.
First down, Jackson. Picks up a couple more. Well, we want to take a moment to thank our crew here for another outstanding year. Our producer, Ross Schneiderman, who always does such a great job, is our guiding hand behind the broadcast. Our directors, Chris Svensson and Jim Cornell. Guys in the booth with us, Joe Night Train Sullivan on stats, and our spotter, Brett Bender, whose dad, Gary, one of the all-time broadcasting greats. And just a big thank you to everyone who is a big part of bringing you the NFL on CBS, especially the folks back in New York. Our executive producer of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus, the vice president of production, Harold Bryant. Fitzpatrick will throw it. There's T.O., and he's got it. 3rd all time.
And a good way to get it done. You unfortunately have a Colt down on the field. It's Freddie Keaho.
Colts training staff is out. Let's take a look.
Well, good hard play action allowed T.O. to get all the way across the field. A little indecision in the communication underneath by the Colts. By the time Cody Glenn, the linebacker, realized it was his responsibility, T.O. had already passed him.
So Terrell Owens moves into third place as one of the NFL's all-time leading receivers. Timeout on the field, 7:15 left. And we welcome you back. 7:15 left to go. It's 30-7 Buffalo on the snowy day here in Orchard Park. Some of the hardy faithful still hanging in there despite this game-long snowstorm. It's been a memorable day for a number of players on the field, including Fred Jackson, who's the lone back. He's carried 32 times for 207 yards. And he'll get another one. Jackson with a nice hole.
Fred Jackson with the handoff.
There's T.O. 49 yards away from yet another milestone.
If any team needs or deserves some good things to happen in out this year, it's the Buffalo Bills.
That's Corey McIntyre. So give Fred Jackson a bit of a rest. Baldwin made the stop. McIntyre stays in the game. Clock running. McIntyre stopped short of the line of scrimmage. Raheem Brock made the tackle.
And I think, Bill, both teams more than content to just keep the ball on the ground, let this clock keep churning. Jim Caldwell's #1 priority, he told us yesterday, was to get out of this game unscathed. Nobody else getting injured. He said there was quite a toll to be paid. In fact, it was Bill Polian that told me that quite a toll to be paid to get to 14-0. A lot of players were bumped up. A lot of people don't realize that. And now to have the luxury of letting them rest and get healthy going into the postseason is very, very fortunate.
And the punt by Mormon goes out of the end zone for a touchback.
Well, a lot of change in store here in Buffalo, Bill. You know, we mentioned the new general manager, Buddy Nix. Another change that was made, a promotion within the organization. Russ Branson promoted from chief operating officer to chief executive officer. They didn't have a true general manager, now they do. So people in Buffalo hopeful that that'll be the start of a new combination for success.
Curtis Painter, quarterback almost all the way for the Indianapolis Colts. It's Mike Hart, and he's dropped immediately by John Cordo. They're going to take the hurry-up offense for a spin. 2nd and 3. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Painter. On the slant, incomplete. Basket was the intended receiver. To acknowledge the work of some of the great folks here at CBS Sports. Our senior producer of CBS Sports in the NFL Today, Eric Mann, directors Bob Matina, the guys in the studio did such a fantastic job all year. The coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS, Lance Barrow. The coordinating producer of CBS Sports is Steve Karasik. All back working hard. They're on week 17 in New York. Inside of 4 minutes left here in Buffalo. Painter going deep and incomplete. Basket couldn't quite bring it in.
He smacked his head hard. He's down. You could hear it all the way up here. That is a hard field, and he went up for that football. That head really slammed into the turf.
Holding his head still, just encouraging him to stay on the ground.
He wants to get up. That's encouraging. But again, everybody in the stadium heard that head hit that turf, and you're going to see a good view of it right here. The ball a little bit underthrown by Curtis Painter. You see he turns around to catch it. And the head really did slam. You'll see the whiplash effect as his body kind of contorts to catch this ball. Boom, right there. And right away you can tell that he was not in good shape there.
In his 4th year out of the University of New Mexico, and now that's a good sign.
Very good sign.
Up on his feet, leaving the field under his own power.
Let's look at it full speed one more time so you can get the full effect.
Colts were able to sign him for a bit of insurance in his 4th year out of New Mexico. Again, at 6 starts for the Eagles last season. Released by Philadelphia back in September. But I'll tell you, the young guys, Pierre Garçon and Austin Collie, have really stepped up and played well for the Indianapolis Colts this season. And they're going to be instrumental in the run to Super Bowl 44. Parrish has some running room and is upended finally after a nice return.
Bill, you mentioned the way that Pierre Garçon and Austin Collie have stepped up for this team. One of the biggest losses, Peyton Manning was telling us yesterday, was Anthony Gonzalez going down with the knee injury, first game of the year, and then finally when he tried to come back, re-aggravated it, was put on IR about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Big loss in Peyton Manning's opinion, and he said that the loss of Marvin Harrison a few years back really has been a void they've been trying to fill.
Corey McIntyre with the carry. He said not a day goes by during the season when he doesn't think about Marvin Harrison.
Exactly right. It was asked how often he thinks about it. He said every single day he misses Marvin Harrison. That's not a knock on Anthony Gonzalez or Austin Collie or Pierre Garçon. These are just guys that he has to develop that relationship with. He's done a great job with Collie and Garçon, and you know, one of the things Jim Caldwell told us yesterday was that this is a guy who's accomplished almost all you can accomplish in the NFL. MVPs, Super Bowls, but yet he stays after practice, puts in that extra time with these younger players to help get them ready.
McIntyre with some running room. Corey McIntyre. Tim Jennings finally stopped him.
Well, let me go on record and say that if this man were rumbling right at me, I would get out of the way. I would want nothing.
Not a small man.
No. He gets that momentum going. They got him listed at 258, 6 feet tall.
25-yard gain on the play.
Gain of 25 yards, and that probably will take us to the 2-minute warning. The Indianapolis Colts will have a bye week, so plenty of time to get healthy and get ready for a run at Super Bowl 44.
And let me say this, too. A lot of people, and in fact, Boomer and Shannon made the point, you know, it would be 3 weeks before Peyton Manning and this offense had played a significant football game, but these guys have been there before. Peyton Manning is going to get all the reps in practice. He's going to get all the reps with his teammates. They know how to get ready for a football game. They'll be ready to go come that second round of the playoffs, their first home game.
Defense, number 68, 5-yard penalty.
Call it on
first down.
Eric Foster, second-year defensive tackle out of Rutgers.
You know, it was Peyton that told us yesterday, too. He said maybe in a lot of ways it was a blessing that loss happened last week, because if they would have won coming into here, all of a sudden now you're going for 16-0. There is that pressure to do it. Now maybe you play some players who really could use that time off, or maybe someone else gets beat up like we've talked about. Having that pressure removed last week made it very clear now the priority is to get everybody healthy.
Brian Braum has come out to conclude things here in the final 2 minutes. Texans have come back, by the way, against New England, and they need 2 of the following teams to lose, either Baltimore, Denver, or the Jets. Any of those 2, and the Texans, if they can hang on and beat the Patriots, they will get to the postseason for the first time. And regardless if they win today, they will conclude with a winning record for the first time. and they will begin preparation for the playoffs.